Chapter 30, Confession.
Meanwhile, back at the bonfire, the students gather around, petrified of what will come if Frank squeals. Rusty finds Austin alone, praying, and places his arm around him.
Hey, preacher, tell me about your Jesus. I want to know him.
This is all my fault, Miller. I'm sorry, Rusty. I'm just too upset right now. You'll know Jesus tomorrow, I promise.
Okay, friend.
Jackie Michaels approaches. She is never seen without her signature scarf around her neck. The other students have always assumed she was mimicking her sexy mother, Sunny, who is never seen without her own signature silk scarves.
That was brave of you, Rusty.
Thanks. I'm sorry, but he had a gun.
What we just witnessed is our house. Cold, abusive, and like yours, demon-possessed. My brother Brandon once told my dad he saw a rat in the barn. He took a beating just for saying the word rat. I can't take it anymore.
Go ahead. Get it off your chest, Jackie. Maybe this is a time for all of us to come forward.
Thank you, Austin. I will.
Jackie boldly removes her scarf and tosses it into the air. The cool night breeze carries it perfectly into the fire.
Free at last.
Much to everyone's surprise, Jackie is branded with a long, thick scar across her throat.
This scar around my neck. My brother Brandon got clotheslined in a game, paralyzing his right arm. My parents told Brandon he better get back on the field for the Cats if he wants to live in their house, or live at all. I made the mistake of laughing when Brandon got injured. When they brought Brandon home from the hospital, they went to slamming shots. They told me they have a special surprise, just for me. I was so excited. I rode my bike to the top of the hill just like they told me. They waited for me at the bottom. I took off pedaling hard. When I got within a few feet, they raised a wire tied to T-handles they were holding. The wire caught my neck and flipped me to the ground. They stood over me, laughing hysterically, repeating the letter T while I begged for air.
She almost died. They didn't care. They hate her for being a girl.
It's okay, Brandon.
Jackie rolls up her sleeve to share more scars. The students stare, but not in disbelief. They all wear such horrible scars.
Every game night, Dad sprays me with acid because Brandon's not on the field playing. He blames me for laughing.
That's crazy, man. I assumed that kind of shit only happened on our side of the river until Austin called me.
Everyone around the fire freaks out in disbelief that someone called across the river.
That's right. He called me. That's how we got here.
The students extend a gracious thank you to Lucas and Austin. Everyone has always wondered about Lucas's scarred hand and missing finger, and for the first time since it happened, Lucas feels comfortable sharing his tragic story.
Before I lost my hand, I was a running back. Fumbled at the end zone, costing our team the game. My dad told me it was the 4th of July, but I knew it wasn't. We went to the backyard. He made me hold an M80 in my hand until it exploded. He took me inside, beating me, calling me bumble fingers. Strangely enough, I can remember him laughing, repeating the letter T. He poured whiskey on my wound and sent me to bed. I can't describe the pain.
Lucas shows his scars to the crowd.
See the results? That's why I'm a linebacker. I can't hang on to the ball.
The students sob, but for the first time, they recognize the warmth of compassion. Some vibrate from fear as they replay their own abuse in their minds.
Hi, everyone. I'm Chandler Fowler. I have only a few physical scars, but here goes. I missed a game-winning field goal last year. Not to brag, but it was the only field goal I've missed since I've been kicking a ball. I'm sure many of you took a beating for my mistake. I'm sorry for that. My coach slapped me. I told him to go to hell. Coach ratted me out to my dad.
Chandler hangs his head in shame.
Sorry, but this is graphic. He drugged me. I woke tied to his recliner. I had my mom's dildo in my mouth. He continuously slapped me while shooting shots of booze like a thirsty mule. He kept screaming at me. You gonna backtalk a coach again, boy? How's your mama taste, boy? Tee, 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 tee. He laughed hysterically as he got off on his sickness. I guess that wasn't enough. You know where he shoved that dildo next. My mom's part Indian. She watched him abuse me while dancing a crazy devil Indian dance in front of me naked. Bunch of drunks.
We gotta do something about these sick fuckers.
Austin shocks everyone with his language, especially Rusty.
Didn't know a preacher used that kind of talk.
My imperfections won't keep me from loving God, or him from loving me. Rusty, these people pull their shades as if God can't see them. The devil is a deceiver. God sees all sins. I'm sorry I was angry. And God invented anger. Just never make him mad, my friend.
Austin moves close to Brandon.
Fondue? This is my best friend, Austin.
Hey, I'm Austin.
In some weird way, I'm aware of who Austin is.
Rusty remains curious about God.
Can your God stop the abuse, preacher?
Faith can move mountains, Miller, and it's our time to move.
Pulling into the cove to pick up the rat students, Uncle Joe spots a large white object on top of the water's surface. He pulls alongside, and using his gaff, he drags the heavy object close and shines his light. Uncle Joe guides his boat and the strange floating debris to shore. Austin and Rusty stand on the riverbank, waiting to help Uncle Joe dock the boat.
Hey! Looks like someone dumped the rats banners in the river. Why would they do that?
They wade into the water to drag the banners onto the bank.
Man, these banners are heavy. Feels like something's in there. Come on, pull, Rusty, pull.
Curious to see what's inside, the two boys begin unwrapping the banners.
What in tarnation is that?
Wrapped inside the banners are two corpses. One has a crushed head and a referee's flag sticking from his slit throat, while the other has a microphone protruding from his anus and his guts missing. Hearing the commotion, the other students come running. The students turn from the grotesque scene, running and screaming. This isn't Uncle Joe's first peep show. He's seen it all. He glances at Austin.
My assumption? Someone made a few terrible calls, and someone was talking out their ass.
That radio announcer should have never said God bless in a town filled with devils.
Tied to the leg of one of the victims is a large sports cooler.
Kid, you might want to step away before I open the cooler. No telling what's inside.
The few remaining students return to the bonfire, heeding Uncle Joe's advice, fearful of what lies within. However, Austin is not going anywhere. He remains with Uncle Joe, feeling protected by his presence. Uncle Joe pops the cooler lid. Out jumps enormous rat.
Ah! Oh. What the heck, Uncle Joe?
Uncle Joe and Austin creep up to the cooler, holding one another's arms. Uncle Joe takes a distant peek. He stops Austin from witnessing the horror and slams the lid. Buried inside the cooler is the severed head of the Rats coach, with his headphones still attached.
You can't look at this, Austin. You might want to sleep someday.
Uncle Joe, we've got to put these devils to rest.
Take it to your grave. When you figure it out, count me in.
It's time for the Rats to board Uncle Joe's boat and return to their side of the river. The students awkwardly hug during their goodbye, crying for their union to never end. This simple embrace is the only affection these deprived children have ever experienced. Afraid of what torture awaits them, 2 rat students, Fondue Gamble and Lucky Lackey, refuse to board Uncle Joe's boat. They would rather take a chance on their own than return to their evil, abusive households. The cats wave goodbye, sobbing as their newfound friends disappear into the distance. The cat students know their parents will be out all night celebrating their victory, so they decide to return to the fire and spend the rest of the evening together. Lucky approaches the fire, recognizing Fondue.
Oh my goodness! You're our drum major! I didn't recognize you without your shako. Wow. Your performance this evening? It was to die for. I never laughed so hard inside. Not ever. Never.
It probably will cost me my life.
Hello, everyone. I'm Lucky Lackey, bench warmer for the Rats.
Austin is not thrilled to see Lucky or Fondue.
Why didn't you board the boat, Lucky? That was our deal. And you and Fondue broke the rules. Explain yourselves, now!
Look at me. I'm 115 pounds of nothing. My proper name's Earl Lackey, but they call me Lucky because of their superstition. They believe I bring the rats good luck, so they make me dress. I've never seen a single play on any football field in the 4 years, well, actually 6 years I've been on the team, on account of they keep holding me back so I can't graduate. Trust me, I'll take the wrath for the Rats' loss tonight, for sure. They will kill me when they find me.
Lucky removes his shirt, showing the long, protruding scars covering his body that the students know could only be caused by a bullwhip. Some students' knees buckle from the gruesome sight.
I was sick and missed a game one night. I said nothing, but the same game, Chandler missed a field goal. Yeah, lucky me. Lucky Lackey. The Rats lost. The townspeople took turns beating me and their satanic ritual held in my parents' barn. We lost a big game tonight. Those two guys washed up on shore look pretty compared to what I'm gonna look like. Trust me.
Austin knows Lucky is right.
We're aware no one crosses that bridge and lives, except on game night once a year. Those devils will kill you.
And yet, here we are, willing to take this enormous risk for just one night of freedom. My plan is to appreciate my last night of life with friends. Please, guys, allow me to enjoy this evening with you. Please?
Austin's heart softens from guilt.
Lucky and I will suffer torture or worse when they find us. I hopped the bus because who would ever expect anyone to cross the bridge? It was my only option. I'm sorry for the danger I've placed you all in. I'm not sure what to do. If I return home, the river will take me. I'll come up missing for sure.
Brandon squeezes Fondue's arm, assuring her that he will take care of her.
Okay, we're all in this together, and we've got to stick together. We knew the risk, but did I hear you say you would go missing?
Yeah, missing. Do you guys want to hear a ghost story? A true ghost story?
I'm not too sure I believe in ghosts.
You will when I tell you my story. You'll want to throw a couple of logs on the fire. This'll take a minute.